Hello class and welcome back as we talk about credit and loans. This is the second part and this will be a two-part section on how credit cards work. This is section 5.2a. As we look here at our learning targets for today, we find out that we are going to explain how credit cards work in terms of making purchases and managing money. We are going to read a Schumer box and identify how the terms of credit cards impact the cost of purchases. And we are going to understand how interest is charged and how to avoid or minimize the interest. Before we get started, we would like you to think about these things and respond below. Have you ever borrowed or lent money to somebody? Tell us more. What do you already know about credit cards? And how does this shape your view of credit cards? When you're done with that, I'll meet you on the next slide. Credit cards. It's real money. What's a credit card? A credit card is a payment card issued by a financial institution to help you buy goods, services, and make purchases without cash. It is a financial tool to allow you to borrow money to make those purchases. Those purchases are repaid at a later date, either in full or over time with interest. Credit cards are revolving credit. This means that you have a set credit limit, which is a maximum that you can charge on the card. As you make a purchase, your balance goes up, and as you make payments, your balance goes down. There's a minimum payment due each month. This amount can fluctuate based on your balance. Click on this link and look at the Napkin Finance credit cards. So here's a quick drawing to explain how credit cards work. You have a credit card. Credit cards can become money, and like money, they can be used to buy things. What happens? Well, if you don't use your money to pay back the credit cards, you incur debt. You incur interest and your credit card score goes down. When your credit card score goes down, the interest you have to pay goes up, digging you into a deeper and deeper hole. There's a difference between credit cards and debit cards. Credit cards is money that you borrow from the bank. Debit card, you're tapping into the money that you already have. But we'll get into those differences more. You can scroll down and read these pieces about fees in the video. I will meet you back on our slide. Credit card and debt explained. Before you decide to open a credit card and use a credit card, you need to think about if it's the right move for you. You need to understand exactly how they work. Otherwise, that you can end up in serious debt. When I came out of college, I was, no kidding, $10,000 in credit card debt. You can watch this video to learn more, and then I'll meet you back right here. After watching the video, you're going to answer these questions based on the Ed puzzle. Actually, these questions are in the Ed puzzle, but I'll read them to you. Which best describes how credit cards work? A credit card company extends your line of credit, and then you pay a small percentage of the cost of those purchases in one annual payment. A credit card company extends your line of credit, and you purchase stuff, and the purchases get directly paid with funds of your checking account. The credit card company extends you a line of credit, and this is free money that you can have to purchase stuff you want. Or a credit card company extends you a line of credit. You purchase stuff, and then you have a choice to pay the balance in full or make a minimum payment each month. Question 2. What is the advantage of paying your credit card balance each month? You will incur only a small paid in full fee on your next credit card statement. You pay only a small amount of interest. You have less of your credit limit available, therefore less temptation to spend, or you avoid paying any interest and fees. Question 3. What is an outstanding balance? Is it the amount you pay in your minimum payment, the amount you spend total, the amount you still owe after you have made your most recent payment, or the amount you still have on life of the credit? Question 4. Why is it more difficult to get out of debt when you pay a minimum payment? Question 5. The video advises you to be a deadbeat. What does that mean? Now I want to play a game. It's called Cat Insanity. What does it feel like to swim in an overwhelming debt? I'd like you to play this game and to experience a lighthearted version of compounding debt. Debt that piles on debt that piles on debt. And then you're going to answer these questions. So play the game. Looks like this. Insanity Cats. And then answer these questions. Use these sentence starters to explain how Insanity Cat is an analogy for debt repayment. Multiple rate is, the number of cats is, your food scoops are, an undeferred cat is, a dead cat is. If you had to make a real-life decision involving debt, what would you do differently as a result of playing this game? Next section, deciphering credit card offers. Because it can easily fall into a cycle of debt if you don't understand the terms of your credit card agreement, Congress passed the Truth in Lending Act in 1988 to standardize how credit card information must be presented. Skim the introductory article and then briefly review the Schumer box provided so that you can answer these questions. What's a Schumer box? I have to read on to see. Decipher credit cards with the Schumer box. Oh, looks like something I gotta open. Here's the Schumer box. Annual percentage rate. And then it explains it can be 10%, 12%. APR, that stands for annual percentage rate for balance transfers, moving money in and out of the account. Penalties in APR. How to avoid paying interest on purchases. Minimum interest. Credit card tips. I think I remember seeing these when we were talking about savings and checking cards. This Schumer box thing is what they use to explain what the terms are of your card. Fees. There's setup fees, annual fees, could be maintenance fees, transaction fees for like balance transfers or cash advancements, penalty fees, late fees, all these fees. Why would I want my credit card? Use the article to help you answer these questions below. While all information is in the Schumer box, it's important which items you think matter the most on a daily basis. So let's see, where are our questions? Looks like that's where we start tomorrow.